Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Math Lesson 2.6, Comparison Number Stories. The learning intention, I am learning to understand how to solve number problems using comparison diagrams. Success criteria, I will be successful when I can write a number model for addition and subtraction, understand a comparison diagram, and know when to subtract the lower number from the higher number. Mathematicians, for today's math message, this is page 220 of your student reference book. Please look over this and share what you found with someone next to you. Pause the video now. As you can see, there are various temperatures of various cities here throughout our United States. Furthermore, boys and girls, this map shows the normal high and low temperatures for the spring season in various U.S. cities. And these temperatures are averages over 30 years. You'll be using this information to come up with your comparison problems. So, mathematicians, we're going to use this map again, found on page 220 of your student reference book, to find, let's say, the normal high temperature for Denver, Colorado. So we'd have to look on the map here. Oh, and here's Denver, Colorado. And we want to find a high temperature. So the high temperature right there is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, Fahrenheit is a measurement of temperature, just like pounds or grams is a measurement of weight. Now, Dallas, Texas, the high temperature is 81 degrees Fahrenheit. The next question is, what is the normal low temperature for Atlanta, Georgia? So we'd have to find Atlanta, Georgia, and I found it right here. And they said low temperature, and that would be 56 degrees Fahrenheit. For Seattle, Washington, and if we look around here, there is Seattle, Washington up here. The average springtime low temperature is 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Next two questions. What city has the highest temperature? Which city has the lowest temperature? Pause the video now and try to figure out the highest and low temperatures of the United States. Boys and girls, if you said for highest temperature Phoenix, Arizona, you are correct. Phoenix has 89 degrees. The city with the lowest temperature is Anchorage, Alaska, and that's right here. And that's not in the continental United States. It's not directly attached to this landform, but it is part of our country, Alaska and Hawaii. And the low temperature there in the spring is 35 degrees. So Anchorage would be the answer to the question. So, mathematician friends, as I stated in the learning intentions and success criteria, our goals are to work on comparison stories. Comparison number stories really are finding differences between two separate numbers. In this case, the numbers are temperatures, such as a high and a low temperature. We can use this little graph here to help us along our way as well. Boys and girls, you could also compare things that are counted. For example, Beth scored 14 points Ivy scored 8 points, so Beth scored 6 more points than Ivy. You can compare things that are measured as well. For example, the bass is 14 inches long. The bluegill is 8 inches long. So the bluegill is 6 inches shorter. So mathematician friends, we are going to use this map again. And let's look at this question to help us with our comparison number stories. What is the difference between the normal high and low temperatures for Chicago, Illinois? Now, Chicago, Illinois is just to the south of us here in Wisconsin, where we are. We're about right here, or maybe a little lower right there. We'll be measuring this. Our unit box will be in Fahrenheit because this is a measurement of temperature. Friends, using this sheet that spells the word cubes right here will help us in answering our number story or comparison story problems. So the first thing it says is circle key numbers and units. Well, we actually don't know the numbers, but we do if we remember from the map on the other page that the high temperature was 65 degrees in the spring and the low temperature was 44 degrees. So we could circle those. The next part of the CUBES acronym, it says underline the question. What am I being asked to solve? What is the difference between the normal high and normal low temperatures of Chicago, Illinois? Next, B stands for box math action words. Am I going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Whenever we see the word difference, that's going to tell us that we are going to subtract. E stands for evaluate and eliminate. What steps do I take? What information don't I need? Well, the information we need are the temperatures. And we need, of course, to know that there's a difference here, which means we are going to subtract. And now it says, the next step for S in the cubes says show your work and check. Does my answer make sense? How can I double check? Well, if we subtract, and we could use the trade first method here, boys and girls, but we don't even have to trade, so we can just subtract straight down. 5 minus 4 equals 1. 6 minus 4 equals 2. Our answer should be 21 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the difference between the high and low temperature. Now, how can we check this answer? Well, we know that 21 plus 44 will equal 65. That's one way of checking. Boys and girls, we could also use this quantity difference diagram to help us organize our answers to this problem. So in this case, we knew that the high temperature was one quantity, and that was 65. And the low temperature was the other quantity, which is 44. We'd have to come up with a difference. And that's what we didn't know. So we'd put a question mark there. Now, boys and girls, we're going to use that student reference book, page 220, databank section, which is titled The Normal Spring High and Low Temperatures in Fahrenheit, to help us with page 42 of our Everyday Math workbook. And this page is called Temperature Differences. Now it says here, use the map on page 220, as I stated, of the student reference book to answer problems 1 through 4. Write question mark in the comparison diagram for the number you want to find. Write the numbers you know in the diagram. Then write a number model. Solve the problems and write the answer. Again, you could use the cubes sheet that I had. Your teacher will have some if you need those. Boys and girls, this is a perfect time, since we're talking about temperatures, to introduce our National High-Low Temperature Project. Throughout the year, once a week, you'll be filling this in, very similar to the sunrise-sunset chart. This is found in your Everyday Math Journal, page 43. Now your teacher will write down on the board or somewhere in your room the highest and lowest temperature, place, and temperatures for the date listed. You will have to find the difference of the two temperatures. Again, difference meaning subtracting one high temperature from the low temperature. Mathematicians, you also might want to use things such as number lines, counters or Unix cubes, or your 100 grid to help you with page 42. Friends, if you complete page 42, and if time permits, you may also work on further number stories using page 238 and 239. Once you read these in the data bank section of your student reference book, you could use this number story sheet and create your own number stories similar to page 42 of your math journal. And of course, you'll need to fill in the unit box and maybe draw a little picture to go along with it. So, boys and girls, happy learning and have a great day today. Bye now.